first thing that gets you into the audition room is the headshot.
1, 2, 3, funk it.
Hi my little honeys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Anastasia, also known as your fave social media girl. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I would appreciate it so much. And of course, don't forget to hit that bell notification button so you know every single time that I post, which is on Fridays. We are doing one of my favorite topics. I love headshots. I'm very excited to be talking about this. It's kind of funny, I meet a lot of actors in the industry and there's some that are like, I absolutely hate doing headshots, and there's some that really do enjoy it. I love headshots. This video is a part 1 to headshots. I'm doing a 2 parts to this video. Part 1 is primarily going to talk about all like the befores of the headshots, when to get started, how to find one, what to get prepared for, yada yada. Part 2 is going to be more so what happens while you're getting your headshots done, and then how to figure out what headshots you want to end up with at the end once you've done the headshots. This part will be obviously coming out as you're watching it. The second one's going to come out in 2 weeks because next week will be my non-acting related content video. So stay tuned for part 2 in 2 weeks. Got my trusty lemon water here, and of course, my iconic notebook. So the first step when it comes to headshots is when to get your headshots and how to even go about getting your headshots. The when should be done when you feel that you are ready to start submitting either yourself to auditions or to submit to an agency so that an agent can submit you to audition. I say this because your headshots need to be an absolute accurate representation of who you are. So don't get your headshots, let's say today, and then you're not planning on submitting to auditions because you don't feel ready as an actor to do so maybe a year from now. Because a year from now, you are gonna change. You'll have to get new headshots again, and they can be quite costly, and it's just, like, there's no point. What's the point? You never got to use those first ones. So there is this rule, they say that your headshots should be renewed every 1.5 to 2 years, because they say every 1.5 to 2 years, a person can really change a lot. On top of that, why headshots are really important is because when you are going into the audition room, the first thing that gets you into the audition room is the headshot. They don't look at the resume or the demo or anything else. They say the great headshot should be able to tell a story by just that one headshot. If you're going on audition for a cop, for example, and your headshot gives off a cop vibe, that casting director is gonna look at it, and within one look at that headshot is instantly gonna be like, okay, great, she looks like a cop. Now let me take her resume and her demo reel to see if she has what it takes to audition for this part. Headshots can also sometimes work really well if you don't even have like necessarily a big resume with a lot of stuff and you're very beginner and new at it. If you have great headshots, a lot of casting directors won't even look at the resume to be like, listen, there's not a lot going on, but her headshot looks amazing. Let's still bring her in. So the headshot is literally your gateway to getting into that audition room. First of all, your money shouldn't be your number one divider when it comes to headshot photographers. I mean, yes, don't spend like $1 million on something where you know for a fact you're not gonna have rent after that. Don't do that. But don't look at 2 photographers and be like, well, which one's cheaper? I'll go with that one. I say this because in my years of getting headshots, I've had like 4 different headshots done. And my sister being also an actor who's had million different headshots done in LA and here, there are headshot photographers that I know that will charge maybe $400 to $500. And that's like on the cheaper side. And they are amazing. Like they're really, really good. And they're just like the starting out and they just have an eye for the headshots. There are headshot photographers that will charge $2,000, like some in LA. And sometimes I look at them and I'm like, do you even know what you're doing? I'm not saying always go with the cheaper side. No, what you're gonna do is in the local city that you're gonna get your headshots in, you're gonna look online, see what headshot photographers are there. Also go to social media. Instagram is huge. Type in like hashtag Toronto headshots, hashtag Winnipeg headshots. Housefly, what the heck? Why do I have a housefly again? Type in and then you'll be able to see a lot of photographers will pop out with those hashtags. When you find a headshot photographer that you're interested in, let's say a couple, obviously you're gonna go on their website and see the way they shoot. Headshot photographers will either shoot with more warmer, softer colors and then with colder, harsher colors. If you don't know which one you do well with, the warmer or the colder, what I suggest is if you have a ring light, take it, put it on and put like your phone or camera in front of you and make your ring light go super, super cold, harsh color and see how you look with your skin tone. Then put it in the complete opposite direction and see how you look and your skin tone looks in the camera with that. This will help you kind of understand what vibe goes with you better. For example, my sister, her and I are like from the same bloodline, but when she's in front of a cold, harsher color, it literally like flushes her out. It doesn't do well for her. But then when she does warmer colors, she looks absolutely glowing, like amazing. When I do a warmer color, I actually look like I look like a lobster. But when I do, like right now, I'm in a cool color tone, I look great. It's one of those things that you need to figure out just a little bit. The other thing is ask people around. The only way you're gonna know how that photographer works and if people enjoyed their session with them is if you ask, and there's nothing wrong with that. And even like make a couple of posts on Facebook or Instagram being like, hey, I'm looking for headshot photographers. Like, please tell me your experiences and who they were. I bet you many people are gonna try to get out there for you. At this point, honeys, you have probably found a photographer that you're interested in and that you want to work with them. When you're hiring this photographer, you're obviously going to be in contact with them and they are going to give you a couple of packages to look at. When you're a beginner starting out, you don't have to choose the most expensive package because you're not at that level to be so precise and elaborate. I'm not even there yet, so I always choose kind of the medium/basic sort of package. You should have no more than either 2 to 3 looks or 3 to 4. 4 is your absolute max. Never go over 4 because you don't really need all 4. If you're super beginner, like first time getting headshots, 2 to 3 is more than enough. If you're kind of maybe going into the agency route now because you've been self-submitting for a while, go for the 3 to 4 kind of package. Your photographer is going to give you a couple of days that they're available to do a shoot for. Don't rush the date. Don't try to put it out there as fast as you can. Take your time. You want to make sure that you're fully ready for it. You know, if you want to get a new haircut, you have time to get a new haircut. Or if you wax your eyebrows or if you do anything to your face, yada yada, you want to make sure you get all of that done and you're not rushing. The other thing is the clothes and the outfits. This is going to take the most time for you. So try to choose a date that's maybe about 1 to 2 months away. So then it gives you 2 months to really kind of prep yourself completely and then you're not stressing out, because the last thing you want to be doing is stressing out during your headshot photography. And believe me, this girl has been there. You will also have an opportunity for both men and women to do makeup artist and a hair artist. It's usually like the same person who does all of that for you at the headshot photography session. They vary from prices all over the place. So some can cost $75. The last headshots that I've had done, she was $250. My personal opinion is I really recommend for anyone to have a hair makeup artist. I think it's just important to have it there for a couple of reasons. Some people will disagree with me, but you're already so stressed out being in this headshot photography session, especially if it's your first time. So when you're actually getting it done, you're not gonna know that maybe an eyelash fell on your face or the fact that your hair is like slightly out of the way. And yeah, technically your headshot photographer should be able to tell you that all the time, but sometimes as a human, they will also miss that. And then your next 25 shots that you got in that one outfit, your hair was like weirdly doing something. A hair makeup artist will always be there to get anything fixed up for you. The other thing is, there is a very specific way to do your makeup when it comes to headshots and lighting and all that kind of stuff. I'm great at doing makeup. I love doing makeup. But when it comes to doing makeup for headshots, it just kind of freaks me out a little bit. It also takes a lot of time from your end. Instead, if you have a makeup artist, you can just discuss with them being like, I'm gonna go for this look. And they're gonna be like, great, so let's do this and this and this and this. They do it really fast and it just takes the pressure off of you. They're professional, they know what they're doing, and they're there on hand. I do recommend having a makeup artist, but I know many actors who did not go the makeup artist, hair artist route, and their headshots did turn out fine. So it's just how confident you want to feel in doing your own hair and makeup. This is not a fashion shoot. You're not trying to show off your coolest outfits, your like cutest tops, like yada yada. You're trying to sell a story in every single different outfit when you're doing your headshot session. So you should have more than what you actually are bringing. If you're going for 2 to 3 looks, bring maybe like 3 to 4, just in case. Because sometimes what looks on you in person will not look the same as it is in photos. And that's really important. When you're buying your shirts and your tops, when you come home, try them in front of a camera. Like take a photo of them on you and then see how it looks. The other thing is why I say this is because with backdrops and lighting and everything, and then the hair and the makeup, sometimes you might put on a shirt and be like, you know what, I changed my mind. I'm not a huge fan of this shirt. I don't want to wear it. Then you don't have to panic being like, well, I don't have anything else to wear. You have a few more options you can choose from that will work for you as well. Don't worry about pants because pants will never be seen in the headshots. Headshots are either like a close-up like this, a medium close-up. Sometimes they could even be from your waist. So just wear something that you're comfortable in. A lot of photographers prefer you wear jeans because of the loopholes, so you can like put your fingers in there. But I've had some that don't care and I just came in like leggings and it was perfectly fine. In terms of buying the clothing and looking for what you're gonna wear, very, very important. Do not bring any sort of printed colors, any printed pattern. This shirt, for example, this is not a shirt you would wear for headshots because it has some sort of images, objects, it's ruffled, it has a bunch of colors, it has clashing patterns. None of that is allowed when it comes to headshots. And quite frankly, a lot of headshot photographers that are really good will not even let you shoot in that because it's just a waste of time. You can also bring layers, which is really important because a layer can also add a little extra something. Like you can bring a jean jacket or a leather jacket. Don't bring sweaters or anything like that. You're not gonna need them, but something like a jean jacket or a leather jacket is a huge must. No turtlenecks, nothing that covers like your neck, nothing that covers like your collarbone. They really wanna see this whole area open. You can do long sleeves 100%. You can do shirts that like go up to here, whatever. Just as long as this area is open and your neck is showing, then it's perfect. No jewelry, none of that. You're not really gonna need it unless you're going for a specific look. But when you're just beginner, you just wanna look as simple, as plain as possible so they could really just see you. Because when you're in that stage, you're gonna be going out for pretty much almost anything because they're trying to figure out what could you get casted as. So you just wanna look as, I don't wanna use the word generic, but like as castable, I guess, as you possibly can. You can go 3 different ways when it comes to deciding how you're gonna do headshots. If you're like super, super new beginner, you have your commercial and then you have the dramatic look. Your commercial look is going to be like pop of color, you happy, that's definitely gonna be your smiley photo where like most likely your teeth are gonna be showing. The second one is the dramatic. So this is like more of your serious, like this is like, you know, you're going through something, you're hero or maybe a bit of like the bad kind of rebel, more darker tones. Another way you can look into the headshots, I'd say this is maybe on like a little bit more of a next step once you've already had like your first set of headshots. You can do this, it goes by 3 ways. You have the working class, the middle class, and then the upper class. Upper class would be something like white collar, suits, like a lawyer, you're going to a very expensive party, like the show Dynasty on Netflix, like that would be the upper class casting. And then the middle class would be like your cop, your teacher, your mom. When I mean cop, like I'm not saying like, oh, go get a cop outfit. No, a cop would be probably someone who wears like more of a colder, harsher color and it's very like straight V-neck, straight this. I would never get casted as a cop because I just don't have that cop vibe. For me, when I did like my mom shot, I had a collared shirt, it was silky and it was like a light pink. That gave me a very mom, motherly sort of vibe. It could be different from you. The last one is working class. Your high school girl, the girl next door, this university student, the best friend. These could be more also on the fun side. You can do maybe, you know, the lighter colors that work with you. Youthful is what you're trying to go for. Also, like take a look at what's your age range. What's the highest somebody can give you? So ask your family and friends. If you're, let's say 25, like people sometimes can give me 30. So probably 30 is like my cutoff of the oldest I could ever play. The youngest I think I could ever play, I've gotten is like 16, 17 when I'm like very youthful. So what you would do is that you take your upper, middle, and low working class and categorize them in each one. So my upper class would always be someone older. My middle class could be a bit of like my age right now, 25 and still older. And then my working class for me is always gonna be like the young, cute student, high school kind of girl. The last way you can look at this is archetypes. Archetypes is usually when actors have been really doing this for like a little bit in a while, really know exactly who they play and who they get casted as. They would literally go like the jock, the bully, the girl next door. Those are actual archetypes. For example, example, Angelina Jolie is always femme fatale because she's always playing that superhero kind of beautiful, like I'm always gonna save the day. Jennifer Aniston, always the girl next door because she's always the one that the guy's gonna leave to go for, like the Angelina Jolie, for example. They're always gonna have their headshots around that kind of area because they're always gonna be casted as that. So if you feel confident enough that you know what archetype you're gonna be, 100% go for it. And then that will kind of also help you see what clothes you should wear. So the next thing you're gonna be doing is going to your photography session. That's gonna be all in part 2 of what happens when you're there, what to do, what not to do, how to pose, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching this video, honeys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe for a lot more good content, and let me know what video you guys wanna see next. Do you wanna see a bit more acting related, non-acting related? Just let me know. Comment down below. And also, if you have any more questions about headshots, please feel free to DM me at Anastasia_Piero on Instagram, or you can comment below and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Love you, honeys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.